All right. If you watched my 7th video in the Mittens series, you now know how to save data to MongoDB after watching me struggle with installing it. So saving data to MongoDB is great and everything. As you could see in our code over here, what we do is we have a post route for posting new meows. In that route, what we do is we get our collection of meows, and then we create a new JavaScript object, a new JSON object to insert into that collection. We do some length checking to make sure it's long enough, and then we insert it. And that's great and everything, but when you have a team of people, or even yourself, and you go back to old code and you try to change it and you add new features to your app, it's going to get messy, and you're going to end up messing up. You might mistype something here. You might forget to add a field. You might forget that you need the user field in your meow object. It's very unstructured, and it's frankly very unprofessional. So what a lot of professionals do use, especially when you have a team of people, is they use this thing, Mongoose. Mongoose is a wrapper that Node uses around an installation of MongoDB. So if you go to mongoosejs.com, you'll see there's a simple code sample of what's going on. You basically do npm install mongoose, then you do mongoose.connect. You connect to your connection string, if you remember that. In our code, we're connecting using mongo client.connect. So instead of using the MongoDB driver directly, you use the mongoose library to connect to the database, add new things to the database, query the database. You stop using the MongoDB driver directly completely. So in this video, I'll show you how to do just that. So once you connect to the database, then you can actually define a model. You do mongoose.model, you have the name of the model, and then you have the fields. And for each field, you have the type of the field. So this one's a string, and I'll show you that good stuff later. Then when it's time to insert something, you do var, the thing you want to insert, and then you do new, and then the name of the model, and then you just pass in the stuff that you normally pass in, like what we did here, like where we have text, username, and then you do that thing .save, and then it saves it. So what's great about that is, like I talked about in the last video, there's some backend validation. It helps with that. It helps with keeping everyone on a team on the same page, because you clearly see here that this cat model has a name field, and that name is a string. So everyone on your team knows that because they can see it clearly laid out. Right now, if I have a team of people, they're going to have to dig through my code to really find out what exactly I'm putting in this meow object. And even then, they don't know if this is it, because I can go back and add stuff later to that same object, and it's just a mess. Like, I got to know what's going in here. So let's do that. Let's stop the server. Let's do npm install mongoose --save. Should be pretty quick. Okay, and then let me restart the server there with nodemon. Nodemon again is nice because I can just change my server file and it will automatically restart. So let's do this right before the app here. By includes, I'm going to do var mongoose equals require mongoose. Okay. Save that instead of mongo client.connect. In fact, I'm going to keep that because if I get rid of this, it's going to break all my other routes, and I don't want to do that yet. So I'm actually going to keep it. It should still work. I should still be able to do what they're telling me to do here. Mongoose.connect. So let's see. Copy mongoose.connect. And I'm going to copy all this stuff here because this is basically either the Heroku URL or it's the local one. So I'm just going to paste that in here. Okay, that should work fine. Okay, no errors yet. Good, good, good. And then let's make the model. So I'm going to copy this stuff here, the code for making a model. And let's see here. Var, I'll call it var meow. Okay, so when you're doing a model, you use a capital letter. You don't have to, but this is generally what people do it's a good way of doing it. And then you put mongoose.model, and the string is the name of the model again. And then here's the model. So let's do this. I like to when I have multiple fields in an object, I like to do multiple lines. So what do we have in our object? We have text, user, and username. So let's do that. Text is a string. User is, we'll get to that. I'll put string for now, but I don't think that's gonna work. Username is a string, and okay, that is our object definition. That's our schema that all of our programmer friends are going to look at when they're sharing this, working on this project with me. Then when it comes time to make one, let's go down here to where we actually do it. With rect.body, we go like this: var new meow, or in fact I just say var, and I'll do new meow equals new, and then meow, and then here's where I specify all the stuff that we need inside it. So copy this, oops, paste it here, and that's it. I can get rid of this old one, and there we go. We got our new meow. And then I can still do my check here. I can make sure that it's still the right length. We'll get to that later. We're gonna have Mongoose do that for us in a second. Okay, it's still running. And now instead of meows collection.insert, I just do new meow dot save. And let me see here. Okay, yeah, there's a callback function. So just like this, there's a function here. Actually, what is it? Okay, yeah. So I can copy this and then do save, and I can get rid of the old one. And also what's nice is I can get rid of this one too. I can get rid of this db.collection call because I don't need that anymore. So right there, I just simplified a lot. I simplified our new meow route a lot. I get our token, I get our user, I create a new meow from the schema, I give it what I got, and then I do some checks, and then I save it. Let's see if this works. Okay, let's go back here. Let's try this. ASDF, submit. And there it is. It worked. Let's make this even simpler. Let's take this check and put it, let's put it on the object itself. So let's see here. So for text, how do you do checking? Let's see. Let's look at the Mongoose docs. Quick start guide. I think they have it somewhere in here. No. API docs. Let's see. Validation. Where is valid? Control F. Validation. Okay. Validate. Okay. No, I'm just gonna Google it. Mongoose validation. Okay, here we go. Okay. So for each field in my schema here, I instead of just saying string, I can make it an object, and the object is type string, and then you can specify some other stuff. You can specify required and say true. I can specify things like length, min. Let me see. I think I could just Google it. Mongoose min length. Adding min length to a string. Okay. Strings have enum match max length. Let me see. Strings have. Oops. Okay. Here we go. Min length. Sorry about that. It took some searching around, but I found it. Schema string min length value. Okay, let's try this. Let's try min length and then say 5. Save that. Okay, in theory now this should work. If I take this out and I just have new meow and then I save it, it should automatically validate it for me. So let's try that here. In fact, I have to use Postman because okay, let's try that out. Send. Okay, I sent an A. Let's see if it added it to the did it just add that? Let me delete these. Okay, let's try it one more time. Send and refresh. And okay, it's not there. And let me just do A, send, refresh, and that is there. So it did not add the A. One thing I'm missing here is a rejection. So let's do this. Return res.send. If there's an error, return res.status 400.send error. Let's see if this works. So that should be a dot. Let's try sending that. Response. Maybe JSON. Okay, I'm not sure. There's different ways you can send back errors in this, but the point is that it's not gonna validate it. Ideally, you want to make it so that when it's invalid, you get the error back from the server, and you can Google tutorials on like just Google Express.js send errors back or something like that, and you'll see like error messages and how to send those back to the front end, just so you know that that's the reason it's failing. So that's a quick intro to Mongoose. Again, right now I'm using both Mongoose and the MongoDB driver, but if you set this up right, if you get rid of all these other uses of the MongoDB driver, you can actually just delete all this code here where you save the database and all that stuff. All you need is the Mongoose object. You can even remove the Mongo client stuff here. Yeah. And there's one more thing I wanted to try. Oh yeah, so we're also saving user as a string, which really it isn't. We should really be saving an object. So it's really Mongoose object type. Schema types. I think it's mixed, yeah. So yeah, you have to do let's see here, mongoose.schema.types.mixed. Yeah, so if you have an object, see, there's a page here on the schema types docs. They show all the different types of schema variable types that you can do. You have like a number, yeah, right up here. You have string, buffer, boolean. You have an array of strings, an array of numbers, an array of things. But the one you want is schema.types.mixed. And let me paste that right here. And this probably will not run because schema is not defined, so you have to define schema. It's mongoose.schema, so you can do something like var schema equals mongoose.schema. A lot of people do that, and then that should work. Pretty simple. There's also some programs out there like Mongo Chef. You can Google that. Mongo Chef. What this is a GUI that you can use to see what's in your database. It's a lot easier than using the command line to see and query your data. You can basically just click on the different collections and you can quickly see what's being saved. And it's a really simple way to just validate everything that's going on here. So try it out, see if you can get Mongoose working for your app, and let me know how it goes.